to the Inter Miami show. Obviously, an enormous week for the club as we anticipate the debut of Lionel Messi for Inter Miami to take on Cruz Azul in their first ever match in the brand new Leagues Cup. As we welcome you in to DRV PNK Stadium, Chris Whittingham alongside Kieran Gibbs, and what has been an absolutely jubilant week here in Miami as the club welcome Lionel Messi, the club welcome Sergio Busquets. It's been a remarkable time. We'll obviously talk about the game for Miami against St. Louis at the weekend and also look ahead to that Cruz Azul match. But Kieran, we're actually recording this the morning after La Presentación, the opening salvo for Inter Miami with Lionel Messi coming out and introducing himself to the crowd. And it was just an extraordinary night to be here at DRV PNK Stadium.
Incredible night, Chris. Historic is the word for last night. I feel like it really hit home yesterday, kind of what's happened with the signings. You know, I feel like it may have been a bit hard to imagine before because the speculation has been going on for so long, and it was kind of like, you know, could this happen? Is it going to happen? And yesterday, I think you could really feel the energy and the realization hitting that this is really happening. And it was amazing to see. Essentially, we're seeing the face of a club and the face of a league change in real time. That's how big this is. So an amazing night.
Yeah, this is the face of the sport now, playing for Inter Miami and playing in Major League Soccer as well. As it's just sort of worth having a look at what it looked like last night, because remember, before this event started, there was an absolute torrential downpour at DRV PNK Stadium. It was extraordinary to be here and see the line of people that were waiting to get in. All of a sudden, the storms begin, the wind is howling, and I was a little afraid that people were going to leave, that it wasn't going to quite be this enormous buildup. But once everything worked out perfectly. They let people into the stadium, loud music started, the atmosphere got going, and then all of a sudden, Lionel Messi comes out and welcomes himself to this crowd. And it's remarkable to see how the fans got behind the player. Messi, like over and over again, the chant started. It was remarkable hearing La Familia as well, but it was just such a jubilant evening. As I mean, we see here the view from the tunnel of him actually walking out. And the thing that to me stands out about not just him last night, but even there's scenes of him walking around doing his shopping at Publix. It really, for me, is just the joy that he seems to be approaching this Inter Miami experience with. This is someone who I think at this stage, having done everything in the game, having played the World Cup, won the World Cup, and won so much in Europe, that I think he wants to enjoy himself now.
Yeah, exactly, and that's it. He deserves that, right? You know, for the sheer volume of blood, sweat, tears, and joy that he's brought into the game over the years. You want to see him enjoying his football, and he deserves that. Him and his family. I'm sure they're going to love Miami. One thing's for sure, he's going to feel very welcome here with the owners. They spoke about that last night, and you know, anyone here that's connected with the club, you know, they really make it feel like a family, and I'm sure he's going to feel that. You can see he looks really happy, and Sergio as well.
Yeah.
It was incredible to see them, how humble they are. That I thought they spoke brilliantly. Such humble characters for what they've done in the game, and they just look like they've got really great families. And yeah, we hope that they're happy here.
Yeah, and the scenes are absolutely incredible. The pyro going off from the roof of the stadium and the giant smiles. It was remarkable how that scene came together, considering the rain. I think most importantly as well, no slipping going on with Lionel Messi. I was a little concerned. I saw the stage. I was like, just don't slip, please. We've got a game on Friday. And I do want to talk a bit about sort of the job on now for Lionel Messi. He's been in and around the team for a couple days now, but this is the first week in earnest, playing with his new teammates and getting acclimated. What is this first week going to be for him in terms of getting ready for the game on Friday?
Getting acclimated is probably the best way to describe it. You know, he's got new teammates, and teammates have got to adjust to him. It's obviously probably going to be a bit surreal for the players, let's be honest, for the players to get used to someone of Leo's stature and Sergio's as well. So, but like I said from last night, you could see that they're willing to put the work in still and compete at a really high level. They want to bring victories here to the club, and so essentially they raise the standards, and so everyone around them, will be looking at them every day and what they're doing and how they can get the best out of themselves to contribute to the club. So I think it's going to be a really, really great first week for everyone involved in the club. And the players are going to be buzzing. Let's be honest.
Yeah.
And it's going to be a brilliant week.
That was one of the cool things from my vantage point where I was during La Presentación was being able to see the group of players sit where normally they would be sat on the bench, and they'll just sort of with open mouth amazement. I saw Benja Kremaski a couple times just going, this is incredible. I cannot believe that this is happening. But yeah, the week of preparation begins in earnest for the opener in Leagues Cup for Lionel Messi, but also for the newest signing, Sergio Busquets, who we mentioned a couple times already, the newest midfield player coming in to Inter Miami. We see him walking out. His signing confirmed only hours before the event and comes straight out. And I honestly thought it was really cool that he gave his statement to the crowd in English as well, obviously integrating to the new country in which he is playing. But we've talked about him a couple times now off air, Kieran, but this player, I think, is going to be a huge part of bringing along Lionel Messi in this club and a key part of taking control again in the midfield area for Inter Miami.
Yeah, Busquets is a Hall of Famer in the world of football, a true maestro and blessed with extreme knowledge of how to read and control football games. That's what he does. I think my favourite quote about Busquets is that you watch a football game and you don't see Busquets, but then you watch Busquets and then you see the whole game.
Yeah,
he's kind of bit under the radar. He just does his job excellently, week in, week out, a consistent performer, and a tactical genius. And the club must just be so lucky and blessed and honoured to have a player of his stature come in as well.
So in terms of how that will manifest itself on the field, he's used to playing in a Barcelona setup that like to have a lot of the ball. Would you imagine that will now be the emphasis, trying to get him on the ball and allow him to dictate the game and figure out where all the chess pieces go?
Yeah, you would hope so, because that's when he's at his best. When he's controlling games, he's the brain of the team, and he keeps things ticking. He keeps the players calm around him. He's got so much composure on the ball. It's just, we've never seen, I've never seen a midfielder with that much composure on the ball in the middle of the park. His willingness to receive and be there and want the ball all the time. He really is the control center of the team, and so you need to build the team around him and focus on how he wants to play in order to get the best out of him and the rest of the team.
And we'll see the integration of both he and Lionel Messi as this Leagues Cup tournament goes on. Do want to look back on the match at the weekend, the final MLS match that Miami play without their new stars and in this new era as that portion of the regular season comes to a close. And obviously the Leagues Cup competition now begins. There's a 3-0 defeat to St. Louis City at the weekend. Kieran, it was the first game for Tata Martino in charge. What were your takeaways from the game?
Yeah, look, Tata will be frustrated essentially. He'll be frustrated because it's 3 set pieces, and apart from that, in the game there wasn't much danger in the game at either end. I didn't think, and so that's going to be hard to swallow, because with 3 set pieces, you like to think that if those aren't there, there's always a chance to win the game. So I think that he'll be focusing on that a lot now, because he'll know that he's got the right ingredients of the team slowly coming, and if he can just navigate through those small errors, then the team will be successful. And so yeah, I think he will have learnt a lot in his first game.
Yeah, and one of the things that he mentioned after the game was sort of the ability in both boxes to both be clinical in front of goal in terms of scoring, but also dealing with danger in your own penalty area as well. I think Lionel Messi certainly goes a long way towards solving the problem at one end of the pitch, but I think the defensive issues could also be sorted as well. As we now look ahead, Inter Miami taking on Cruz Azul in their opener of Leagues Cup. So just to explain what this is, Leagues Cup is a new tournament between Major League Soccer and Liga MX, the Mexican top flight, in which every team in MLS and every team team in the Mexican top flight. Enter 47 teams. We'll play out a group stage. Miami in a group with Atlanta United and Cruz Azul, one of the giants in Mexican football, one of the four gigantes, as they are referred to. They have lost their first 3 matches in the Liga MX regular season, but now enter this Leagues Cup against Inter Miami, trying to play the spoiler on the first night. In terms of this first game, Kieran, what are sort of the emphasis points on how are they going to handle this occasion on Friday night?
Yeah, I think the best way is to treat it, with a clean slate, almost like a new season. I mean, it kind of is with new manager, new players,
the new tournament.
And so it's a good way to get a fresh start. The manager's going to be looking at everyone from a clean slate as well, and so just integrating everything. It's not easy when you've got a lot of moving parts going, but hopefully that the players can just focus on the game and get the job done, because it's an interesting competition if you can get far in this. And it seems fun, and I hope that it's going to be here at home, so it's going to be a really big occasion, and we want to see the La Familia in full force and everyone get behind the players and the club, and I'm sure it's going to be a great evening. Yeah,
it's a big event. It's the first game for Lionel Messi, and I think the city has been looking forward to this for so long, and now you have this new competition. So if Miami win 7 games, it's a trophy. They also have the Open Cup. You win 2 more games, it's another potential trophy. So I think one of the things that Tata mentioned when he was brought into the club is we have cup competitions that can allow us to reprioritize this season and kind of change the narrative. If you win a trophy in your first season with this new experiment, it's a remarkable outcome. So I think that's the opportunity that's on for Inter Miami here.
Yeah, there's a lot to play for,
And that will be the game that Miami will play on Friday night, and then we'll take on Atlanta United in the second game of the group. That'll do it for us here on the Inter Miami Show. When we talk to you next, we'll have seen a game for Lionel Messi in an Inter Miami shirt. Thanks to our tremendous production team, and to Kieran Gibbs, for myself, Chris Whittingham. We'll talk to you next week.
Messi.